Hello guys and welcome back to a brand new Steel Division Normandy 44 video by yours truly. Um Today I have for you a 3 versus 3 on the map of crap. Well, I don't know. It's like let something. It's I don't know. I'll put it in the description. You guys can look at it there. But anyways, um today I'm going to be playing as the 12th SS Panzer Division. Botchers is going to be rolling as the Panzerlehr, and Rock and Roll is going to be playing as the Panzerlehr as well. So 3 Panzer divisions on the German side. On the Allies, we have the 1st Panzerna. We have 2 1st Panzerna, played by Kapitän Schlachichu, something like that, and Dramrammer. We also have ZK, who's going as the 101st Airborne. I'm gonna go ahead and switch it to my perspective just so you guys could see what I'm seeing. Right off the bat, we get that +1 lead. Gonna be making a lot of ground over here on this far left side. I'm gonna be taking the left side. Botchers is gonna be assisting in the middle, and I'm gonna be assisting him as well in this left center area. And Rock and Roll is gonna be on that far right flank. Gonna be pushing up the Panzer Grenadiers along with the Panzerführer. I have a couple of half tracks, an AT gun, supported by a Panzer II BEF. I'll bring up the 251 anti-aircraft half track because I was anticipating perhaps some sort of air support right at the beginning of the game, but I like using the anti-aircraft half-tracks because they do provide very good fire support against infantry and so forth. I bring over a Panzerführer and Panzer Grenadier on this far left side, along with some spare troop and the Panzer Shrek squad with the 250-10. This has the Pack 35 in it, so that is good at taking out some light vehicles. Panzer Grenadiers are going to be engaged with the Streltsy and the Vickers. Half tracks are going to be doing their job and pinning them down. Enemy brings in artillery right off the bat. They're going to be targeting my troops that were moving up over here. Currently have a 55% control over the map with a +1 lead. Botchers is going to be making some beautiful ground right here in the middle, pushing the front line all the way back on the enemy side of the map. Command Stewart's going to be pushing up, but he gets taken down by the 250-10. Really nice kill on that guy there. It's a lot of money that they spent on him. Vickers goes down. 251-17 is going to be targeted by a, what is this? A Cromwell 5. Nice engagement going over here in these hedgerows towards the forest. Not too much on the right side at the moment. Fortunately, my Panzer II is going to go down to this Cromwell 5. I'm trying to bait him in to the line of sight from my pack gun. There you go. Worked out pretty well. He's going to be targeted. Forced to fall back though, my half track. And he's going to go down to a Armata 6-pounder AT gun that the enemy decided to sneak up into the forest there. I see this and I start to push my Panzer Grenadiers towards him because, well, he only had one guy on that AT gun, so he's going to be easy to take out if I could get to him. But there's going to be some Streltsy in the way. Pushing up the half track to help support my Panzer Grenadiers. Botchers is going to put a real nice bulge right into their front line for a moment. 57mm AT gun's going to be opening up on the half tracks though, but the MG42 is going to be engaging him as well. Lots of paratroopers moving up in the middle. ZK brings up a 60mm mortar to suppress the spare troops and the Panzer Grenadiers. Half track's going to be opening up on the whatever infantry unit that was. Streltsy goes down, but I got another Streltsy, and my Panzer Grenadiers are being suppressed by that artillery. That is really a pain in the ass. I would have loved to take that out, but I didn't really have anything to get back there to kind of suppress him. I was putting all of my focus in this area here. I bring up the Butte Firefly to kind of handle some of these light tanks, as well as that 6-pounder anti-tank gun. It would have been really unfortunate if that 6-pounder was able to get a side shot off on this Firefly, because he would have been killed instantly. Firefly's going to be charging towards the enemy with his back towards them. Not the greatest tactic on his part, but no, we're going to roll with it. See how it pays off. This command steward's going to be targeted by the 250-10 and is forced to fall back. Shooter's wounded, so. And then he's going to go down to the Firefly. Lots of points lost over here on this left side. I was able to take out a lot of those like cheaper but like medium tanks per se. Nah, they're light tanks, but I was satisfied with what I was accomplishing over here so far. Unfortunate that I lost some Panzer Grenadier squads, and eventually that one is killed off, but I am in the process of bringing up some more units to support me as well. I'm also bringing up a mortar half track. I believe this is a 88mm Horf track. Oi, can't speak today. That's alright. Everybody has those days. 88, nah, that might be an 80mm. I'm not entirely sure. You'll have to check it out for yourselves. Dram Rammer is going to be pushing up a Butte Firefly, a infantry squad. I'm not entirely sure if they have AT. I wasn't exactly able to see them, and they do actually have AT, so I pull back the Firefly just so they can't kill him rather easily. And I also bring up the 251 to like really hit them hard if they were to expose themselves right there. I bring up another Panzerschreck squad to put over on this far left side, because I do see this Cromwell 5 just chilling over here in these bushes. There is a 6-pounder anti-tank gun in that field there, and he's got very nice line of sight on this whole area, so I don't want to be exposed to him, because that can seriously cause some damage. I decide to have these two guys kind of suppress this tree line here, because I do know that infantry squad's in there, so I thought perhaps I might be able to get a nice kill on them there, but nothing was able to connect. That's alright. Lots of fire support here. There is, however, going to be a Cromwell that is pushed up in between these two little forests here. He's going to be suppressing Botchers and Panzer Grenadiers, as well as the MG42. Pushing up with my Panzer Grenadiers along with my half-track to continue my attack in this tree line here. I want to take out that recon squad. Enemy is finally targeting my Pack 38, which is very irritating because he's solidified my defense over here on this left side on these tree lines, as I was putting most of my focus over into this little area. All my units here are basically just to hold the front line and to basically I have them in positions to kill anything that really tries to come up. Half-track's going to be pushing. He's going to be targeted by the 251. I decided to bring over the Butte Firefly to the left side, or I'm sorry, the right side of the road here, and my Pack 38 does go down. I do this to get a line of sight on these Cromwells and on the Cromwell and the Staghound. Not exactly able to do that just yet. Botcher's Pack 38 is gonna go down. Not too much going on the right side. Phase B had just commenced, so we are going to be starting to bring in some of our heavier tanks. I know the Panzerlehr, they get like King Tigers and Tigers in Phase B, although you're not given a lot of points to get those things. So when you're playing as the Panzerlehr, I feel as though it is kind of a gamble. You know, you take your chance at not having that Phase B strong point, per se. One of my half-tracks is going to go down, and the Panzer Grenadier squad that I brought up here is going to be killed off by, I believe it was a machine gun, so in this building here, so that was kind of unfortunate. But I still got units there to hold the line. I see this squad pushing up, so I decided to bring back my Panzer Shrek squad. I don't want to lose him just yet. Starting to bring in reinforcements. I bring up another AT gun to replace the one that I lost over here on this left side. Our teammate was playing very passive. Botches and I felt that if he had just pushed up all of, I mean, look at all of the half tracks he has, just kind of like sitting here. If he had pushed up those half tracks, we could have perhaps gained a +2 lead like we had earlier in the game, and definitely would have been easier to take out these infantry units while the pack guns handled the heavier tanks. Firefly's going to be engaged with the Staghound and the Cromwell. They do bring up a 6-pounder anti-tank gun, and my half-track does explode to him, which was annoying, but you know, what are you going to do? Firefly is going to be facing them with his sidearm or open. Staghound does go down. Not sure why he's doing this. Did not tell him to do that, but you know, he's just going to do whatever he feels is best, I guess. Cromwell is going to be forced to fall back. And I do believe I start pulling him out of there, as there were a couple of AT guns in this general area right here. Panzer Grenadiers are going to be trying to make the Streltsy surrender, but they're just going to fall back. Not really what I was hoping for, but you know, as long as they're not in the fight, then that's okay with me. Pull up another 251 because it is Phase B. I am expecting the 101st Airborne to start pounding this left side, as we did have most of the ground gained on this left side, so I was expecting a lot of air support coming from him. In comes the big guy, Michael Wittmann, and his Tiger E. He's going to be a very good asset for myself throughout this match. Lots of tanks pushing up through mid now. Here we can see a, I believe this is a, oh, that's just a Sherman. As I stated earlier, there was a handful of AT guns over in this forest here. You can see the 2 of them opening up on that Panzer IV there from Botchers. Fortunately, the Firefly is going to be killed as I'm bringing him out of there. That was really annoying. Kind of pissed me off a little bit, but I'm not super worried still. I'm hitting the position with my mortar half-track to suppress those AT guns that were there, as I am struggling to bring over Michael Wittmann's Tiger. I don't know why he was doing there. I feel like tanks should be able to plow through these trees here. Like, if there's just a small hedgerow like this, they should be able to go right through them. Because, like, they could just take down the trees. I don't know if that's realistic. 251's gonna go down. As well, both 251s are gonna go down. Pack 38's gonna be destroyed by the Hurricane Mark 5 with the rockets. Nice looking plane there. Has the four 20mm cannons. Panzer Grenadiers and Panzer Grenadier are going to be engaged with the Dragoni. How do you? Yeah, Dragoni, I guess. That's how it's pronounced. Bring up a couple more squads of Panzer Grenadiers, as well as a MG42 to help get this position under lockdown, as the enemy took out a big handful of my units and they're now charging forward. Bring up the FW-190 to drop bombs and keep this little push here back for a little bit longer. Gonna be really terrorizing the morale on a lot of these units. Rock and Roll is going to be pushing up his Panzer Grenadiers to hit these glider rifles and the 60mm mortar, rather. He also decides to bring up a Tiger E. Bacha's going to be bringing up a BEF Panther to help take care of some of these tanks. Right now, the enemy is being very stubborn and is basically, they're being a big pain in our ass. They're really mounting an offensive here, and at this point Botchers and we were getting kind of annoyed because Rock and Roll was sitting back a lot. It seemed as though he was really only micromanaging his Tiger here. Botchers also brings up the Tiger E to assist his BEF Panther. If he could have just charged forward a little bit, or used some of these half tracks with this little push that he mounted over here on this far right side, he could have easily taken out those glider troops and could have pushed the front line back quite a bit. Reckon, sure, he doesn't know what is exactly in this area, but we definitely felt like he could have taken some of the pressure off if he was on this side, if he was pushing on that side. So, kind of unfortunate. Enemy's going to be smoking out my Tiger so he doesn't get a line of sight on any of these tanks here. Still bringing up the Panzer Grenadiers and the MG42, the half-track. This MG42 is going to be suppressing the Dragoni. Not entirely sure if that's how you pronounce it, so let me know down in the comments. These Panzer Grenadiers are going to be caught out in the open, unfortunately, and suppressed by the fire support from the Sherman 5, and I believe this is what looks like a Vickers HMG. Yep, there you go. And they're going to go down. Mortar half-track's depleted. I should probably get him out of there, but I don't because I'm not the best, and I do not realize that he's depleted. I'm having a hard time getting my Tiger to get a line of sight on any of these vehicles in this area. I also don't want to expose him to something I'm not aware of, so I'm trying to be very careful with him. Panzer Grenadiers are going to go down. Botches are going to be pushing up that Tiger E and the BEF Panther, but the Panther is going to be forced to fall back as some heavy artillery was called in to suppress him, and, well, he doesn't really have a choice. Half-track's going to go down in the middle. Botchers brings up a Pack 40 to help solidify the defense here, as we do not have a lot in this middle area, and that's exactly where they're pushing. Botchers going to bring up the BEO Panzer IV with the 170mm artillery, off-map artillery. That's going to help suppress these vehicles and force them to fall back, really terrorize their morale. Really worried right now because the enemy is bringing in some rocket hurricanes, and they're going to be hitting my Tiger E. Luckily, they weren't AT. I don't believe they were AT, anyways. Not entirely sure. But they're not able to take out my Tiger E, so I'm very thankful for that. This lone Panzer Grenadier squad's just going to be holding the line. It's all that we have that remains between us, between certain death and I don't know. I'm sure you guys can finish the sentence for me. Time on target. Probably not the best position. I was hoping he was going to use the area for effect, I believe it's called, and hit this entire area with the artillery. But it was good to force these first initial tanks to fall back, and that's exactly what he did, so really useful there. Bought us some time. I like using the off-map artillery, not only to obviously take out loads of infantry, but to force units to fall back, and it really does buy you time. That's why I like using the planes with the bombs on them, and rockets, because you know you might not destroy the units, but you're able to force them to fall back and buy you a little bit of time to get units up to the front line and get yourself situated. I bring up a Panzer Grenadier squad to get into this city. I'm signaling to Botchers that this is where we need to solidify our infantry, and we're both going to be bringing up some half-tracks and with Panzer Grenadier squads to get in there and help solidify this area a little bit. Make it a little harder for the enemy to weed us out. I bring up a Panther D to assist the Tiger. This is a really crappy area. I'm really having a hard time getting the line of sight on anything. I decided to bring over this Tiger to take out the Sherman 5 there, and we're going to see if it pays off. See if Michael Wittmann can do what he does. That's going to be a bounce. 15 AP versus 11 armor. Let's see what happens here. Another miss. Come on. Kill that guy. You get him. Come on, one more. Nice shot. Ammo explosion on the Sherman 5, and he's going to go down really quickly. Target this M5 half-track real quick. That's going to be a miss. Come on, Michael. You need to hit that thing. Kill him. Get him. Nice shot. Crew killed. MG42 is going to be opening up on the Streltsy. Right now, I have a Panzer Grenadier Fiat, because almost out of ammo. Haven't had a chance to use the MP40s, but their Car 98s are not in a good position. They are, however, going to be spotted by the Dragoni and the Cromwell, and well, they're going to try to stay quiet. Panzer Grenadiers are going to be opening up on the Dragoni. Tiger E is assisting them. There's a lot of pain and rounds going into that little tree line there. They're going to be pinned down quickly. I'm glad I pushed up this half-track and not one of my tanks, because there was a 17-pounder that was just sitting right there. And he is going to be targeting our half-tracks that Botches and I bring up. Thankful that we didn't lose anything expensive to that thing, because he is in a very cheeky position. I decided to bring up an 88mm because those airplanes that the enemy is bringing in they're really becoming a hassle for us, so we need to take those out, or at least suppress them quickly. And I like bringing up the 88s because they're able to, not only do they have a very long range, but they're able to target the enemy quickly, and they can force planes to fall back so easily. Lots of rocket strikes on Michael Wittmann, but he is going to be able to prevail, and yeah, I'm going to be bringing him back. I'm worried at this point because there's a lot of shit right here, and he is falling back, and he is not listening to any of my orders. You must hold the line until you die. Nah, I'm really trying to keep him alive. Not trying to lose that guy. Right now, I'm getting very antsy. I really want him to just push up and take some of the pressure off of this left side because they are pushing hard. Look at this. Cromwell 5, Sherman 5, Cromwell, their command Cromwell. Now they're bringing up Fireflies. I mean, they got everything over here, and they are pushing as hard as they can. Stupidly, I push up the Panther, and the side armor was exposed, and well, he's gonna go down really quickly. Very dumb decision on my part. I bring in the FW to hit this area and force these tanks to fall back. That was basically what I was relying on this entire game, is making units fall back just to buy us time. I was able to take out the Achilles, actually. I didn't recognize that in game, but he is gonna go down, and that's actually awesome. That open top not really working to their favor in that situation. Michael Wittmann is gonna be able. I actually am not sure if that was Michael Wittmann. Let's see if he has even has line of sight. Yes, he does. Michael Wittmann's gonna be able to take out that Firefly there. And, well, he has an engine stall right now, so he's down for 22 seconds. But holding the line there, taking out retreating vehicles. It was actually a good moment that I had right there, taking out that Achilles and the Firefly. Didn't even realize that that happened, so that's really cool. Enemy's going to be bringing in a Mosquito to suppress my tanks here. Not going to be doing too much other than pinning down my Panzer Grenadiers. Still not too much happening on this right side. Rock and Roll is, however, going to have 2 Tiger E's that are going to be putting in work and taking out tanks left and right. He is actually bringing up a second Tiger E, which is really cool. These tanks are really pretty. Very nice. I love Tigers. Michael Wittmann's going to be engaged with all of these tanks back here. He's in a peculiar position, so I decided to pull him out of there. Not sure if that even makes sense, but just go with it. It's alright. This is an English class. This is Steel Division. Bringing up another Tiger E to assist Michael Wittmann. At this point, I'm really hoping that the enemy doesn't try having a mass armored push on this left side of the road here, because at the moment all I really have standing between certain death and them is a 88mm anti-aircraft gun. I bring in the FW-190 to force these tanks to fall back. Unfortunately, the enemy is now going to know that I have this here, and he's going to be continuously bombarding it. Just non-stop. So I bring up another one, because when you watch them shoot and the round explodes, it takes about half of the morale off of airplanes. I would say about half. So if I have 2 of them, then enemy airplanes aren't really going to be able to get to him quickly unless they bring like 3 or 4 at a time. Then they're going to be able to get some bombs off on him. But if it's just one, then I'm going to be able to force him to fall back. And actually, it worked out really nice because they began to want to drop bombs in this area. And I was able to force them to fall back before they could even drop their bombs. So that was very useful. I bring up the Panzerwerfer to suppress and force a lot of these units to fall back in this area, because they are starting to cause me some trouble, as they're going to be pushing up half tracks now. BEO Panzer IV is going to be taking out another half track. Here come the airplanes with their bombs. And here's an example of what I was talking about earlier. He's going to be forced to fall back. 2 shots from a shot apiece from an 88 are going to force that Hurricane to fall back, and that's really effective. That's great. And that's pretty much, I feel like that might be their only purpose, because I have yet to see an 88 actually take out an airplane. This 88's actually in a very good position, as he was engaging the Cromwell, but there you go. I'm gonna be able to pin that Hurricane down before he's even able to bring in that rocket strike to take out my Panzerwerfer. Tiger E on the left side of the road is gonna be able to take out a command Cromwell that was over here. Maybe it was just a regular Cromwell, I'm not entirely sure. Probably just a regular Cromwell, but he's gonna go down quickly. Incoming more planes. He's unfortunately going to be able to get his rockets off, but I lose the Speer troop there. Not super worried about that, although I am pretty worried. Very annoying. Loads of taggers here in the middle area, middle playing ground. Botchus is going to have his Mechanics Tiger, King Tiger. Very nice looking tank. He's going to be pushed up. Botchers and Rock and Roll are going to be taking control in this mid area. Rock and Roll is still sitting back on this right side, holding the line, doing what he has to do. Bringing up the, well, not bringing him up anyways. I'm trying to pull him back because there is a buttload of tanks coming in here, and I'm not prepared for it. That's going to be a bounce. Half track's going to go down. Michael Wittmann, can you hold this off here? We're going to see. Down goes one command Cromwell. Let's see here. Bring in the Focke-Wulf to force these tanks to fall back. Thankfully, Nika Botcher's BEF Tiger is going to take out one of the Shermans, and that third Firefly is going to go down to Michael Wittmann. Awesome stuff happening there. Bringing up some more troops to push up along with my Tiger here. Unfortunately, the enemy has something in here that is really going to ruin my day, and I'm not prepared for it. Here it is. Wow. One hit from an AT, or from a Piat, and that Tiger is going to go down. And, well, Michael Wittmann's funeral was quicker than expected. I did, however, bring up another Tiger E to assist the 2 that I already had. That is now 1. I tell Botchers, watch out, because those Piats are some serious shit. They're gonna really target his Tiger, and that would be very unfortunate if that goes down. I bring in the FW-190 to hit them, and they are going to go down. So now I know that it's clear. I do start to push in the half tracks and the Tiger that I bring up. 88s are going to be really putting in some work and taking out those incoming aircraft. Tiger E is going to take out a 6-pounder, and now we are finally able to begin to take minor control of this area and push back a lot of these units. Decide to push up the Panzer Grenadiers to assist. Enemy still has a Firefly in this area. Unfortunately, I believe it took out the King Tiger of Botchers, but we still have some Tiger E's and a Panzer in this area. Rock and Roll's gonna have another King Tiger on his side, along with a Tiger E to support it. Along with 2 Tiger E's to support it, rather. M10, or I believe it's an M10. I'm not entirely sure what it's called for the Allies. That's gonna go down really quickly to the Tiger E's of Rock and Roll. 88s are going to be opening up. He's not going to be able to drop his bombs. This is the area they were going for. He is going to drop his bombs, and that's unfortunate. But luckily, the half-tracks were able to speed away from there quickly, so turned out to work in our favor here. Rock and Roll brings in the FW-190s. Here comes the cavalry. Mosquito's going to be able to get his bombs off, and while that's unfortunate, it suppresses all of our Panzer Grenadiers and Pioneers that we have pushing up there. I brought up a Pack 40 in the middle, but that is going to go down to some annoying artillery. Pushing up Panzer Grenadiers on the far left side. They're going to be engaged with all of these half-tracks. Tiger is going to be able to provide a little bit of support, though. Firefly and a Sherman 5 with off-map artillery. Going to be pushing up in this mid-area. Able to take out that anti-tank gun with my Focke-Wulf. Like I said earlier, I really like using these things because they do provide. I don't know, they're such a good asset to have when you need things to fall back quickly. And well, there you go, folks. There you have it. Another minor victory on Caumont-l'Evente. Not, please don't criticize me. I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce that. That's a mouthful. Holy smokes. Not the best with the kill to loss ratio. However, I do feel though as though when you're playing Conquest, that seems to not really matter a whole bunch. I could be wrong. I'm not a professional, so I don't know. Overall, pretty enjoyable game. I really liked using the 12th SS now that it has the Tigers in it. Michael Wittmann's going to be putting in some work as he takes out a Sherman 5, 2 Fireflies, as well as a Cromwell. I believe that's the Command Cromwell. Overall, really fun game. I enjoyed it a lot. I know Botchers enjoyed it a lot. And, well, that's all I have for you today, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe. As always, I will see you guys on the battlefield, and stay tuned for more.